والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. We have a beautiful dua in the Quran in which Ibrahim alayhi salam, it's an extended dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And in this dua he says, وَلَا تُخْزِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ, and do not disgrace me on the day when everyone is brought back. يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. Now I want us to pay attention here because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us on the tongue of Ibrahim and his beautiful dua, يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون. So he is asking Allah, do not disgrace me on the day when everyone is brought back. We're all going to be brought back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says, do not disgrace me on that day, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ, the day when nothing will benefit anyone of wealth or children. Now, if we look at the world we live in today, the things that matter most to us basically surround two things, which is wealth and some form of power. Now, at the time when the Quran was revealed, children were a show of power. And so here we see that absolutely none of these currencies will matter on the day when we are returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now here's where we have to pay attention. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, except for the one who comes back to Allah with a sound, healthy heart. And so what I am asked to speak about today is just a snapshot of this concept of what does it mean to have a sound, healthy heart. Qalbun salim. First, I want to quickly give a definition of this word. So a qalb that is salim is a heart that you can think of that has no competitor with Allah inside of it. Everyone got that? No competitor with Allah at its core. Now, what are the things that are competitors with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our world? Well, we know we had a talk about heedlessness, ghafla, that we can actually become so distracted by the things in our lives. And what do they distract us from? They distract us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so what I want you to understand is that there are things in our lives that are gifts. There are blessings that Allah will give us. He will give us our spouse. He will give us our children. He will give us our money. He will give us our power and our influence. He will give us status. These are all can be blessings. These can all be gifts. But our blessings and our gifts can also become a source of very, very profound suffering if we take those blessings and we take those gifts and they become competitors with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, everyone in this room is a believer. We are coming here as believers to the masjid. And so none of us would ever say, well, I love my child more than Allah. Or no one would ever say, I love my child as I love Allah. No one would say, I love my bank account as I love Allah. No one in this room would say, I love my spouse as I love Allah. None of us would ever take money and make an idol and bow to it. None of us would bow to our child. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns us of something in the Quran. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَتَّخِذُ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ أَنْدَادًا يُحِبُّونَهُمْ كَحُبِّ اللَّهِ. And there are those who take rivals with Allah. Now we said that the definition of qalbun salim was a heart that does not have a rival with Allah at its core, right? We agreed. And here Allah is warning us that there are people who take rivals with Allah. They are not taking rivals with Allah because they're praying to these things. He doesn't say they are rivals to Allah because they bow to these things. He says, يُحِبُّونَهُمْ كَحُبِّ اللَّهِ. They love them as they should only love God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is where I want us to start making it practical. Because no one in this room is ever going to make an idol